There are only two types of people in this world: those who program their minds for success and those who let their minds be programmed by failure. Right now, while you're listening to this, someone your age with your background is making their first $1 million. Someone with fewer advantages than you is landing their dream job. Someone with less education than you is starting the business that will change their life forever. The difference isn't intelligence, connections, or luck. It's mental programming. Successful people have learned to think like winners, while most people unknowingly think like losers. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. They take action while others make excuses. They persist when others quit. This isn't about positive thinking or motivation. This is about the scientific fact that your thoughts create your reality. Success is not an accident. It never has been, and it never will be. Right now, as you sit here, there are two people living in your neighborhood. One drives a luxury car, owns a beautiful home, takes vacations whenever they want, and sleeps peacefully at night knowing their future is secure. The other person struggles to pay bills, worries constantly about money, and feels stuck in a life they never intended to live. Both people have the same 24 hours in a day. Both breathe the same air and live under the same economic conditions. So what makes the difference? The answer lies in something most people never think about: their mental programming. Your mind works exactly like a computer. Every computer runs on software, and that software determines what the computer can and cannot do. Install powerful software, and you get powerful results. Install weak or corrupted software, and the computer crashes or performs poorly. Your mind operates on the same principle. The thoughts, beliefs, and mental patterns you have installed in your mind determine the results you get in your life. This is not philosophy or positive thinking. This is scientific fact. The confident mindset is the most powerful software you can install in your mental computer. When you program your mind with confidence, something remarkable happens. You begin to see opportunities where others see problems. You take action while others hesitate. You persist when others quit. You attract success because you expect success. This is not luck or magic. This is the natural result of mental programming. Most people program their minds accidentally. They listen to negative news, surround themselves with negative people, and fill their minds with doubts and fears. Then they wonder why their lives are filled with struggle and disappointment. They have programmed their mental computer with failure software, and their computer is simply doing what it was programmed to do: produce failure results. The confidence equation is simple but profound. Your thoughts create your beliefs. Your beliefs determine your actions, and your actions produce your results. Change your thoughts and you change your entire life. This is not theory. This is practical reality that you can test and prove for yourself. Think about Maria, a single mother who worked as a cashier for 8 years. She had convinced herself that she was not smart enough for anything better. Her mental programming told her every day that she was stuck. But when Maria changed her mental programming and began to see herself as capable and intelligent, everything changed. She enrolled in night school, learned new skills, and within 2 years became a supervisor, earning twice her previous salary. Same person, same circumstances, different mental programming. So your brain creates what scientists call neural pathways. These are like highways in your mind that your thoughts travel on. When you think confident thoughts repeatedly, you create strong neural pathways for confidence. When you think fearful or doubtful thoughts repeatedly, you create strong neural pathways for fear and doubt. The pathway you use most becomes your mental superhighway, the route your thoughts automatically take. Confident people have built superhighways for success thoughts. When they face a challenge, their minds automatically travel down the confidence pathway. They think, I can handle this, I will find a way, I have succeeded before and I will succeed again. People with weak confidence have built superhighways for failure thoughts. When they face the same challenge, their minds automatically travel down the fear pathway. They think, this is too hard. I will probably fail. I am not good enough. The fascinating truth is that both people might be equally capable, equally intelligent, and equally talented. The only difference is their mental programming. The confident person has programmed their mind for success, while the other person has programmed their mind for failure. Scientific research has proven that your thoughts actually change the physical structure of your brain. When you think confident thoughts, your brain releases chemicals that make you feel strong and capable. When you think fearful thoughts, your brain releases chemicals that make you feel weak and anxious. Your thoughts literally control your body chemistry. This is why confident people seem to have more energy, better health, and greater success. They are not necessarily born different. They have simply learned to program their minds differently. They have discovered that confidence is not something you have or do not have. Confidence is something you create through mental programming. The compound effect of daily mental conditioning is extraordinary. Just as a small amount of money invested daily can grow into a fortune through compound interest, a small amount of confidence programming done daily can transform your entire life. 5 minutes of confident thinking each morning may seem insignificant, but over time it builds an unshakable foundation of inner strength. Consider the story of Robert, who was terrified of public speaking. His mental programming told him that he would embarrass himself and that people would judge him harshly. But Robert began reprogramming his mind with confidence. He visualized himself speaking confidently, he practiced positive self-talk, and he gradually retrained his neural pathways. Today, Robert is a successful speaker who earns 6 figures sharing his expertise with audiences around the world. The truth is this: you already have everything you need to succeed. You have a brilliant mind, unlimited potential, and the ability to learn and grow. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is your mental programming. Change your programming and you change your life. This is not a promise. This is a guarantee. Based on the unchanging laws of human psychology, your confident mindset is not just a nice-to-have addition to your life. It is the foundation upon which all success is built. Without confidence, talent is wasted, opportunities are missed, and dreams remain forever unfulfilled. With confidence, ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. The question is not whether you are capable of success. You are. The question is whether you will choose to program your mind for success or continue to accept the default programming of mediocrity. The choice is yours, and that choice will determine everything. Rotary Claude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. Building true confidence is like constructing a skyscraper. It requires a solid foundation and strong supporting pillars. Most people try to build confidence on shifting sand, wondering why their self-assurance crumbles under pressure. The architecture of unshakable confidence rests on 4 essential pillars that, when properly constructed, create an inner strength that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. The first pillar is self-talk mastery. Every day, you have approximately 60,000 thoughts running through your mind. Most people never pay attention to these thoughts. But confident people understand that their internal dialogue is either building them up or tearing them down. Your self-talk is the voice of your mental programmer, constantly writing new code for your success or failure. Confident people have learned to become the editor of their own mental conversation. When they catch themselves thinking, "I cannot do this," they immediately replace it with, "I am learning how to do this." When they hear their inner voice saying, "I always mess things up," they quickly substitute, "I am getting better every day." This is not about lying to yourself. This is about choosing thoughts that serve your success rather than sabotage it. The second pillar is visualization mastery. Your mind cannot tell the difference between something you vividly imagine and something you actually experience. This is why you can wake up from a nightmare with your heart pounding, even though nothing real happened. Confident people use this mental mechanism to their advantage by regularly visualizing themselves succeeding. When you visualize yourself handling situations confidently, your brain creates neural pathways as if you had actually experienced that success. The more vividly and frequently you visualize confident performance, the more natural, confident behavior becomes. Athletes use this technique to improve their performance, and you can use it to improve your confidence in any area of life. The third pillar is physiology mastery. Your body and mind are connected in ways that most people never consider. Confident people understand that how you use your body directly affects how you feel mentally. When you stand tall, breathe deeply, and move with purpose, your brain receives signals that you are confident and capable. When you slouch, breathe shallowly, and move hesitantly, your brain receives signals that you are insecure and uncertain. This is why confident people pay attention to their posture, their gestures, and their physical presence. They know that acting confident physically helps them feel confident mentally. They walk into rooms with purpose, make eye contact, and use gestures that take up space. This is not about being arrogant. This is about using your physiology to support your mental state. The fourth pillar is evidence mastery. Confident people actively collect evidence of their capabilities and successes. They keep what I call an evidence file, a mental or physical collection of their achievements, compliments received, problems solved, and challenges overcome. When doubt creeps in, they review their evidence file and remind themselves of what they are capable of achieving. Most people do the opposite. They collect evidence of their failures and shortcomings, building a strong case against themselves. They remember every mistake, every rejection, and every disappointment. Confident people acknowledge their mistakes but focus on their successes and growth. This creates what psychologists call the confidence-competence loop. As you build confidence, you are more likely to take on challenges and stretch yourself. As you stretch yourself, you develop new competencies. As you develop new competencies, you build more confidence. This upward spiral is how confident people continuously grow and achieve more. Confident people also understand that confidence is not the absence of fear, it is the willingness to act despite fear. They feel the same fears as everyone else, but they have trained themselves to move forward anyway. They know that courage is not being fearless. Courage is being afraid and taking action anyway. They handle rejection and failure differently than most people. When a confident person faces rejection, they think, this was not the right fit, rather than, I am not good enough. When they encounter failure, they think, this is feedback that will help me improve, rather than, I am a failure. This mental reframing protects their confidence while allowing them to learn and grow. Building evidence of your capabilities requires consistent action. Every time you do something that requires courage, you add to your evidence file. Every time you learn a new skill, solve a problem, or help someone else, you strengthen your confidence foundation. The key is to notice and acknowledge these victories, no matter how small they may seem. The beauty of this architecture is that each pillar reinforces the others. Better self-talk makes visualization more effective. Stronger physiology makes positive self-talk more believable. A growing evidence file makes all of these practices more powerful. Together, these four pillars create a structure of confidence that can weather any storm and support any dream you choose to pursue. Remember, confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build through consistent daily practice. Every day, you have the opportunity to strengthen these four pillars and create the unshakable confidence that will transform your life. The greatest enemy you will ever face lives inside your own head. This enemy knows your weaknesses, remembers your failures, and whispers doubts into your ear every time you try to move forward. This enemy is your inner critic, and it has been sabotaging your success for years. But here is the truth that will set you free. This voice is not you, and you have the power to silence it forever. Your inner critic speaks in absolutes. It tells you that you always mess things up, that you never get things right, that you are not smart enough or not talented enough. These statements are lies designed to keep you safe by keeping you small. Your inner critic believes that if you never try, you can never fail. But what it fails to understand is that by protecting you from failure, it is also protecting you from success. The first step in defeating your inner critic is to recognize it as a separate voice from your true self. When you hear that negative voice, mentally step back and say, that is my inner critic talking, not me. This simple act of separation begins to weaken its power over you. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And you can choose which thoughts to listen to and which to dismiss. Confident people have learned to talk back to their inner critic when it says, you will probably fail. They respond with, I might fail, but I will definitely fail if I do not try. When it says, people will think you are stupid, they respond with, the people who matter will support me, and the opinions of those who do not matter are irrelevant. This is not about being unrealistic. This is about being fair to yourself. Fear is the fuel that powers your inner critic. But here is what confident people understand about fear. It is not a stop sign. It is a compass pointing toward what you most need to do. The things that scare you most are often the things that will help you grow most. When you feel fear, instead of running away, ask yourself, what is this fear trying to teach me? What would I do if I were not afraid? And if it says, what do you learn about yourself? If you decide not to fear, what do you learn? External obstacles are different from internal ones, but they require the same confident mindset to overcome. Criticism from others can sting, but confident people understand that criticism says more about the critic than about them. They know that people who are living their own dreams are too busy to criticize others. The people who criticize you are often the ones who have given up on their own dreams. When you receive criticism, filter it through this question. Is this person trying to help me grow, or are they trying to hold me back? Constructive criticism from people who care about your success is valuable. Destructive criticism from people who are threatened by your progress is worthless. Learn to tell the difference and respond accordingly. The comparison trap is another external obstacle that destroys confidence. You compare your behind-the-scenes struggles with other people's highlight reels. You see their success but not their sacrifices. You see their victories but not their defeats. Confident people understand that comparison is the thief of joy and the enemy of progress. They focus on their own journey, their own growth, and their own goals. Every setback contains the seeds of a comeback. When confident people face obstacles, they ask themselves, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to become stronger? They understand that muscles grow through resistance and confidence grows through challenges. The confident person's secret weapon is preparation. They know that confidence without competence is just arrogance. So they continuously work on developing their skills. They practice, they study, they seek feedback, and they improve. This preparation gives them the foundation they need to face any challenge with genuine confidence. Your inner critic will never completely disappear, but you can reduce its voice to a whisper. External obstacles will always exist, but you can learn to see them as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. The choice is yours. Confident people do not just think differently, they act differently. They have developed specific strategies and habits that separate them from those who struggle with self-doubt. These strategies are not secrets available only to a chosen few. They are learnable skills that anyone can develop with practice and commitment. The first winning strategy is how confident people make decisions while others get paralyzed by analysis. Confident people understand that making a good decision quickly is better than making a perfect decision too late. They gather the information they need, trust their judgment, and move forward. They know that most decisions are reversible, and that taking action gives them more information than endless planning ever could. When faced with a choice, confident people ask themselves three key questions. What is the worst thing that could happen if I do this? Can I handle that outcome? What is the cost of not taking action? This framework helps them make decisions from a position of strength rather than fear. Risk-taking is another area where confident people excel. They understand that all progress requires risk, but they are not reckless gamblers. They take calculated risks based on careful analysis of potential rewards versus potential losses. They know that the biggest risk is not taking any risks at all, because that guarantees you will stay exactly where you are. Confident people also master the art of building momentum through small wins. They understand that success breeds success, so they deliberately create opportunities for victory. They break large goals into smaller, achievable steps, celebrating each accomplishment along the way. This creates a positive feedback loop that builds their confidence while moving them toward their larger objectives. Consider the story of James, who wanted to start his own business, but felt overwhelmed by the enormity of the task. Instead of trying to do everything at once, he focused on one small step each day. He researched his market, developed his business plan, saved money, and built his skills gradually. Each small victory gave him confidence for the next step. Within 18 months, he had successfully launched his business and was earning more than he had at his corporate job. Preparation is the foundation of confident action. Confident people know that luck favors the prepared mind. They invest time in developing their skills, expanding their knowledge, and building their capabilities. They understand that confidence without competence is just arrogance. So they work continuously to earn their confidence through improved performance. Communication is another area where confident people excel. They speak clearly, listen actively, and express their ideas with conviction. They are not afraid to ask questions, share their opinions, or admit when they do not know something. Their communication style reflects their inner confidence. They do not need to prove anything to anyone, so they can be authentic and direct. Leadership begins with self-leadership. Confident people lead themselves first by maintaining high standards, keeping their commitments, and taking responsibility for their results. They understand that you cannot lead others effectively if you cannot lead yourself. This self-leadership creates a presence and credibility that others naturally want to follow. Personal branding is something confident people develop naturally. They are not trying to be someone else. They are trying to be the best version of themselves. They identify their strengths, develop their unique talents, and consistently deliver value to others. Their personal brand is built on authenticity, competence, and reliability. The most successful, confident people understand that confidence is not about being perfect. It is about being resilient. They know they will make mistakes, face setbacks, and encounter failures, but they have developed the mental toughness to bounce back quickly and learn from every experience. These strategies work because they are based on the fundamental truth that confidence is a skill that can be developed. Every time you make a decision quickly, take a calculated risk, build momentum through small wins, or communicate with conviction, you are strengthening your confidence muscle. The more you practice these strategies, the more natural they become. And the more confident you become, the moment you wake up tomorrow morning, you have a choice. You can start your day the same way you have been starting it, with the same thoughts, the same routines, and the same expectations. Or you can begin living as the confident person you were meant to be. This choice will determine not just your day, but your entire future. Morning routines are the foundation of confident living. Confident people understand that how you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. They do not check their phones immediately upon waking, flooding their minds with other people's problems and priorities. Instead, they take control of their mental state from the very first moment they open their eyes. A confident morning routine might include 5 minutes of positive visualization, where you see yourself handling the day's challenges with strength and capability. It might include physical exercise that energizes your body and sharpens your mind. It might include reading something inspirational or educational that feeds your growth. The specific activities matter less than the principle. Confident people take charge of their mental and physical state before the world has a chance to knock them off balance. But what happens when tough times hit? This is where true confidence reveals itself. Confident people understand that life is not about avoiding storms. It is about learning to dance in the rain. When challenges arise, they do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, they ask, "How can I use this experience to become stronger?" Consider the story of Linda, a marketing executive who lost her job during a company downsizing. For the first week, she felt devastated and scared. But then, her confident mindset kicked in. She realized that this setback was actually an opportunity to pursue the consulting business she had always dreamed of starting. She used her severance package to invest in herself, developed her skills, and within 6 months was earning more money than she had ever made as an employee. What seemed like a disaster became the catalyst for her greatest success. Goal setting for confident people is different from goal setting for everyone else. They do not just write down what they want to achieve, they create a comprehensive system for making it happen. They set specific, measurable goals with clear deadlines. They identify the skills they need to develop, the resources they need to acquire, and the obstacles they need to overcome. Most importantly, they review their goals regularly and adjust their actions based on their progress. Confident people also understand the power of building relationships from a position of strength. They are not trying to take from others, they are trying to give value to others. They ask themselves, how can I help this person succeed, rather than what can this person do for me? This mindset creates genuine connections and opportunities that benefit everyone involved. Financial confidence is a crucial component of overall confidence. Confident people take control of their financial lives by living below their means, investing in their future, and building multiple streams of income. They understand that financial security gives them the freedom to make choices based on what is right rather than what is necessary. They are not slaves to their paychecks because they have created financial options for themselves. Your physical health directly impacts your mental confidence. Confident people understand that their body is the vehicle that carries them toward their dreams, so they take care of it. They eat foods that give them energy, exercise regularly to maintain strength and stamina, and get enough sleep to keep their minds sharp. They know that feeling physically strong helps them feel mentally strong. The 90-day confidence transformation plan is simple but powerful. For the next 90 days, commit to these daily practices. Start each morning with 5 minutes of positive visualization. Throughout the day, catch yourself when you engage in negative self-talk and immediately replace it with positive, constructive thoughts. Take one small action each day that moves you toward your most important goal. End each day by writing down 3 things you accomplished and 3 things you are grateful for. This may seem simple, but simplicity is the key to consistency, and consistency is the key to transformation. Most people fail to change because they try to do too much too fast. They set unrealistic expectations, become overwhelmed, and give up. Confident people understand that small, consistent actions compound into extraordinary results over time. The story of Michael illustrates this principle perfectly. Michael was a shy accountant who dreamed of starting his own financial consulting practice, but was terrified of networking and public speaking. He began with small steps. He joined a local business organization and committed to introducing himself to 1 new person at each meeting. He practiced his introduction in the mirror until it became natural. He gradually began participating in discussions and offering his expertise. Within a year, he had built a network of potential clients and the confidence to start his own practice. Today, he runs a successful consulting firm with 12 employees. The transformation began with a single decision: to act despite his fear. The truth is this: confidence is not a destination you reach. It is a way of traveling through life. Every day, you have opportunities to strengthen your confidence muscle. Every challenge you face is a chance to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Every goal you achieve becomes evidence that you can achieve the next one. right now, at this very moment. You have everything you need to begin living confidently. You have a mind that can be programmed for success. You have talents that can be developed. You have opportunities that can be seized. You have the power to choose your thoughts, your actions, and your future. The confident life is not a life without problems. It is a life where you know you can handle whatever problems arise. It is not a life without fear. It is a life where you act despite your fears. It is not a life without failure. It is a life where you learn from every failure and use it to fuel your next success. The time for excuses is over. The time for waiting is over. The time for living small is over. Your confident life begins now with the next decision you make, the next action you take, and the next thought you think. Choose confidence. Choose growth. Choose the life you were meant to live.